you're sure in a hurt. You think you can treat me like dirt and then get away with it, honey. Well, you got another thing coming now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the VAdio Show, The People's Show. Now, I got a question for you. We all make mistakes, right? We all go through our issues, and there's repercussions for everything that you do wrong. But after that, we all want our forgiveness once we get it right. Once you get on the right path and you got your mind right, you want everybody to accept you, and they should, right? Well, that's what this episode is all about. It's called Felonies and Forgiveness. Now, we have a lot of viewers that are locked up right now that view us on a regular basis. So we see it as our duty to also bring progress to them. You know, when they get out, they find it very hard, you know, out here to find a job, to find acceptance. It's a lot of things that they go through, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with the felony side of things to just talk about what happens when you get in there, when you're there, and how it is when you get out. And I have my man Derrick Beamon here to help me out. I'm going to shake your hand, brother. How are you?
All right, Trevor. I'm doing all right.
Now, I got a question. I got to start out by letting people know who you are, your background, what you do. Let people know who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Derrick Beamon, and basically I'm the founder of APOCA. I'm a playwright. APOCA, that's ATPOCA, and it's an acronym for Against the Pitfalls of Criminal Activity. Basically, we're directed at the youth to teach them the benefits of a crime-free lifestyle. I take the youth and put them on stage and let them vent some type of other way, and we send positive messages to the community.
Awesome. So you do plays and things like that?
Yes.
That's awesome, man. Now, what I do want people to know as well is you've served time. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, I want you to just give me a little background on I would say yourself, but not as far back as a baby, but like right before you got locked up. Like, what was life like?
Well, you know, I was locked up twice, man.
Okay.
So it was the second time. The first time, you know, take it as a game, it's a joke, you're doing it, and people, you know, you thinking that you'd be a man once you get locked up.
Yeah.
So when I got out after that first time, I thought I could do the crime better.
Gotcha.
So I really, you know, thought I'd stay away. My problem was getting high, doing drugs and everything. Okay. So I came back. I said, well, I won't get high no more. And, I had already made a plan to wash cars after my first. I got out, and it was a 4th of July weekend. I got out on a Friday. That Saturday, I was washing cars. And I stayed clean for like 10 months, and my problem was I ran into a female. Ran into a female, a lot younger, very attractive. The car wash thing kind of slowed down because the weather had changed. Like
got you. Summer, seasonal.
Weather had changed. Turned to January, and she just kept, you know, promoting that I should sell some. Yeah. So anyway, we teamed up and sold some drugs and got into it, man. And, oh man, it kind of was booming. Right. And I did it in a little different fashion. And one thing led another, man. I ended up getting custody of my son, and before you knew it, I ended up going back to prison. A lot of people didn't like that.
Gotcha.
You know?
Right.
I was making mistakes, you know, and my mind wasn't clear, so I ended up going back to prison. This time, if I did that 4.5, I ended up going back and doing 6.5. Wow. 11 years taken away from my life.
In this society today with music and movies and things like that, first off, the drug lifestyle, selling drugs seems to be one of the, you know, most sought after jobs in the hood. You know what I mean? Through, you know, music kind of glorifies it, makes it look cool. Some guys even kind of looking forward to getting locked up, like, you know, like it's a good place to be. Please let me know how the experience inside was, and also you had mentioned something to me before the show. It's a lot of things that you can do inside of jail to prepare you and get you ready to get out and handle life properly.
Inside, I was just I was terrible when I went back. I was bitter with the world because I sold drugs. This time I thought I would be better than a drug user.
Got you. I got you.
As a drug dealer, but you know, it's two sides of substance abuse. The one that's abusing it and using it, and the one who's selling it, he's also abusing it. So both of us is substance abuse.
That's true.
I end up going in, and you're thinking that you're a drug dealer, like you said, the music promotes it, so you feel like you're some type of superstar.
Right.
Everybody knows
I'm the man.
But you end up finding 1,000 guys in there the same.
Just like you. Right.
Yeah.
The Smurf effect. Yeah. Everybody the same.
And with males, it's a ego thing.
Yeah.
Women are more emotional, but males is more ego. So when I went back in there, I was bitter with the world because I felt like I helped people. I felt like I was kind to people that know me and everything. But that don't mount up to nothing in there.
Right.
People gonna look at you just like them because you're in the same green suit.
Right.
So what took it for me is that I was bitter. I lost all my good time. I had to do day for day, and as I was traveling, man, it was actually thank God it was the older guys that I sit down and finally start paying attention to them. I ran my time. I was starting off as a low level, going to like a work camp. I got so bad, man, that I had to raise my level all the way to a level 4, and I ended up going to a major prison like Sussex 2.
Now, what makes that happen? Like for those people that don't know,
you get into fights or you're rebellious to the authority, or you're getting excessive write-ups, or you're in there selling drugs or cigarettes, or just breaking all type of rules. So
they send you somewhere that's a little bit tighter.
Yeah, they send you somewhere where tighter, where people can tighten you up too.
Got you.
So when I went to Sussex, you know, I seen men get stabbed right in front of me, and things like that. And I was only there for a short while, but it was a very awful experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people that you haven't seen in years, and they sitting there with 64 years, 120 years, and they might be 26 years old.
Wow.
So what had got me, I had to go through this transition where I had to change in counselors and other inmates that was older that really saw concern, that had the nerve to say, look, man, because I used to break in people's lockers and stuff. And the older man said, man, look, man, that stuff you're doing right there, it ain't nothing. When you go home. And I'll never forget how he talked to him, Mr. Van Burton. I finally made it to Greensville. And he said, when you go home? I said, man, I got 3 more years. He said, 3 years? He said, man, I've been here for 31 years.
Wow.
You know, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And you in here breaking the law. But you know, man, that somebody can kill you right in here. That once you in, that you know don't have to come out. And I started talking to him. And he said, you know, his mentality, he had that wisdom. He had to get something that catch my attention.
Yeah.
So I said to him, well, what do I do? And I never forget how he said it. He said, get money. And he knew that was the only state I was in at that time that was getting my attention.
Right.
So he showed me how to draw up a little board. It was a gambling board. But what he really was showing me that I had to get the trust from the people. Because for me to sell that gambling board when people played the quarter boards or the other type of bingo boards, I had to collect people money without them even knowing me. And they win, they want to get paid that money. So he was,
and it's a business structure that you learn.
And it was teaching me business also in a structure. So I had to go to this major prison, and you know, heavy populated, and talk to guys that really don't know me. Right. And try to get them in this business. So he said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sign my name on it. He said, when people see my name, they're gonna contribute. And sure enough, I went out there and I was trying to talk to people. And they see his name. Oh, Van playing the jump.
Yeah,
and
right.
They signed, and they gave me their packs of cigarettes. So I was saying cigarettes. So that
sounds like an endorsement deal.
Right. So next thing you know, man, people hit, and he said, look, when you pay them, let everybody see. And I ended up going and paying them. And make a long story short, that taught me a little bit of humbleness, taught me how to do things right up. And then, you know, that was the first step to change me. Next step was I got shipped, my levels started going down. And I did away with that, and I started looking for spirituality because my mom had a stroke while I was in there. And I had talked to other people that had actually lost their mothers and fathers and their family members, and they wasn't allowed to go.
Right. Because you got to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay.
A lot of money.
sometimes there's situations where, you know, you go in and your mother's healthy and this happened, an accident happened.
Right.
So not to be by her bedside while she's in that situation, that really bothers a man psychologically. So this is one of the reasons that I felt like, you know, I had to change. So for me, it was my spirituality. I started, you know, investigating every religion and started investigating myself first and started working on myself. So that's when I came up.
Gotcha.
Trying to change.
Okay, okay. Well, we're going to go to a break, but I want to get back and kind of talk a little bit more about your end time of being in prison and also the transition out and what you had to go through, all right? But ladies and gentlemen, this is Felonies and Forgiveness, and it's the VAdio Show. Y'all better not touch that dial. We'll holler at you when we get back. A message from one of our proud sponsors.
Someone once said, getting there is half the fun. From downtown to Old Town, Go Past 365 connects you to entertainment, restaurants, friends. Go Past 365. Find out more at gopast365.com.
We here with funny man extraordinaire, Dave Champion. And brother, I just want you to let the people know from, in your words, from your mouth, what do you plan on doing tonight, man?
Listen, man, I plan on showing out, man. I plan on having all these people right here laughing. Some people brought their own diapers.
Okay.
So we're going to have a good
Gotta be
time,
prepared.
man. You got to be prepared. So we're going to enjoy ourselves tonight, man. We're doing it for a great cause. We're doing it for adults. We're doing it for the children. Families coming out. We got a lot of everybody coming and set up. So we're going to make some money tonight for a good cause for the 757. That's what we do, man. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We also got a gospel stage plays coming up called the Redemption Center. That'll be showing in Valdosta, Georgia, October the 3rd. But we're bringing it back to the 757, man, coming up in February. So you guys look out for that, man. Catch me on my Facebook page, Dave Champion on Facebook. And you can reach me with my current events. And we're going to do it for the 757, just like that.
All right. Well, y'all know progress is the process, and we're going to get a few laughs in, all right? I sure hate it if you missed it. This is the VAdio Show, Trevor Lucas and Dave Champion. We'll holler at you.
High volume, high volume, high volume.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trevor Lucas of The VAdio Show, of course, and I'm here with Miss Catherine Staten. First of all, how are you?
I'm well.
Now, I know why we're here, and I'm sure you know why we're here, but I want to let everyone know why we're here and what we're doing today.
Well, we're here to raise money for the Hearst Shelter. They're doing an expansion project for a new shelter that's going to be opening up in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
So I just wanted to get together and bring the community together for this good cause and just laugh.
Awesome.
Just laugh the lives of women and children in crisis and help them.
That is awesome. And I'm also here with brother Wynn Horton from the Hearst Shelter. And you are, what position do you play in the Hearst Shelter?
I am the employment coordinator, so I work with the women as they come in to get them into a job, maybe for the first time, maybe for, you know, just a new opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. Why is this event important to the Hearst Shelter? And let the people know why the Hearst Shelter is important in general.
Sure. Well, I think domestic violence is something that sadly affects a lot of communities. I think every community. And, you know, as Kathy already said, it's really good to bring people together in, you know, in happiness, in joy and laughter.
Yeah.
And I think that's what tonight is for. You know, it's good to have some smiles because, you know, a lot of what we see at the shelter is sad and it's dark. And so it's good to shine some light into those places.
That's awesome. Right?
Yeah.
I love what you guys are doing. And everyone, let this positivity and progress spread out, all right? This is Trevor Lucas with The VAdio Show. We're going to laugh a little bit today, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The People's Show, TheVadio Show. And of course, this is still Felonies and Forgiveness. Now, we're going to get to the forgiveness section of this because it's a lot of folks struggling right now that did their time. They're trying to get back into society and do this thing right, but they're having some struggles. So I got someone here to help us get a better understanding of how this whole transition can happen and how we can help each other make it happen. Mr. Bailey, how are you?
I'm good, Trevor. Thanks for having me on.
I'm glad to have you here, man. I got to ask you the question because it's a lot of people who pretty much shun ex-felons. You know, they have a hard time. They've served their time. Everyone has their issues and mistakes. Everybody doesn't get locked up for it. But at the same time, they want their forgiveness and they want to move on. So how do, well, actually, first, before I get into that, what made you want to jump in this battle of helping ex-felons?
Probably the number one thing that made me want to get into, and before I get started, let me make it clear that for the past 5 years at Virginia Cure and some other civil rights organizations and some advocacy groups, we actually lobbied the state of Virginia to change the name of ex-felons or ex-cons or all those other things to returning citizens.
Gotcha.
So what I'll be referring to, as you said, ex-felons, I'll be using the term returning citizens.
Nice.
And that's important because a lot of times, you know, folks are looking for some self-respect, some dignity. Yeah. And folks will use those terms to denigrate you, to make you feel smaller than what you are. But I actually got into this because, you know, fortunately, I've been blessed to advocate, meaning I've got good connections with lawmakers, and lawmakers, when they see me coming to their doorsteps, know I'm a straight shooter, and that I'm not going to play any games with them. During the course of my advocacy, I learned that ex-felons, returning citizens, were really getting a bad rap. And there's a lot of groups out there that they can go through for help and that will give them assistance in different arenas. But the biggest problem I saw with returning citizens was what we call the collateral consequences of criminal convictions, or the 4 C's.
Okay.
Now, the way the 4 C's work is technically, the way our system is set up, it's set up so that if you commit a specific crime, there's a specific punishment. Once you've met the requirements of that punishment, then you're supposed to be a new person. You're supposed to start anew. Well, that's not the way it works, Trevor. What actually happens is, if you commit crime A, then the punishment is 4 years in prison and some fines. Then you should do your 4 years, pay those fines, and then start your life anew. But what actually happens is when you finish your 4 years, you learn that this is something that continues to follow you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you get out and you can't vote. You can't bear arms. You can't hold or run for public office. You can't live in specific areas. You can't get governmental assistance and food stamps and housing and all of those things. So in essence, what happens is all of those things that we as African Americans fought to eliminate, discriminatory tactics from the government, are now illegal to use against us. But they're perfectly legal to use against returning citizens. So Professor Michelle Alexander wrote in her book, The New Jim Crow, that that's what's happened now. Slavery still exists. Basically, it has a new face. So the powers that be, and mostly legislators, a lot of legislators, most of them, when I speak to them behind closed doors, they're like, Bailey, I'm with you, man. This is wrong. This ain't the right thing, and we need to change the law. But I can't publicly say this, and I can't publicly talk about this.
So with all this happening, it seems to me, and I've seen it happen actually, being that it's so rough out there, what is the percentage of people going right back because it's so hard? I can't get a job, I can't get in certain housing, I can't get any assistance, so I'm gonna go back to what got me locked up in the first place. I know I can get some money. So what is the percentage of the people that do that, that make that decision?
And that's funny that you would ask that, because that is why I'm in this Virginia Cure now. I started off with the Missing Voter Project. Well, actually, I started off with the NAACP.
Yeah, tell me all of the organizations. I need to know all the organizations.
Well, I don't want to bore you today.
No, man.
But
let people know what's going on with you now.
I started off with the NAACP, and I was actually working there as one of the vice presidents and legal redress chair, and I realized I wanted to focus more energy in the voting rights arena.
Gotcha.
Voter education arena. So I started the 10,000 Voters, which morphed into the Missing Voter Project. And I found out about this organization called Virginia Cure and fell in love with them because of the obstacles we as African Americans have to go through. Virginia Cure focuses on the Virginia criminal justice system and the people whose lives are impacted by it.
Gotcha.
Now, the way they work, as opposed to reentry groups, is Virginia Cure works as an advocacy group.
Okay.
Which is why I love them, because they focus on removing barriers from a legislative standpoint.
So there's systematic barriers that are keeping people in bondage for real.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're changing laws at the state and local level. So
great.
I love that, and we've got like a really good rapport. Legislators know now that when one of us come in to address an issue, that we're serious about this and we're not going to go away.
Right.
So that's a good thing. So one of the things we learned is that there's like some 40,000 collateral consequences to criminal convictions. So we're just going in trying to
40,000?
40,000, Trevor. Amazing. So we just go in and we try and move them one at a time. Now, because of these 4 C's, what happens is what you just said. People get out, not realizing that I'm going to have all these obstacles.
Right.
And having the mindset, you know what? I got to feed my family.
Right.
I've got to take care of myself. So what I'm going to do to feed myself and take care of my family is whatever I've got to do. So we learned that some 2/3 or 67% of those that are released are actually returning within 3 years.
Wow.
And that's horrific, because it gives you the impression, in fact, we believe, there's no impression, we believe it's the truth, that this has become a business.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you next.
And when you consider that the federal government spends $72 billion a year, Virginia, we just spent $1 billion last year on corrections.
Right, and you've also got record execs and things like that are buying stock in privately owned prisons.
Absolutely.
Instead of pumping out music talking about crimes and, drug dealing and things like that. So it's seeming very much calculated.
Big business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And while they're in jail, I've heard that they make jeans, make boats and other products for little to nothing. So it's basically new slavery.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In fact, there's a couple lawsuits that's still pending from companies that are complaining that the federal or prison institutes were using inmate labor. They're paying inmates $1.35 an hour to produce products for other companies, where the companies that were actually competing with these companies were paying their folks to do those same things in upwards of $30, $35 an hour.
Right.
So now there's a couple lawsuits in courts right now because of that. So that's a big deal.
Now I got a question for you, because again, this is the forgiveness section of the show. I just want to be direct as to what would you say to a person that has gotten out and they've just bumped into that wall and they starting to realize, it's a lot of things that's in my way and I'm having a hard time, and they begin to feel stressed and wanting to go back. What would you say to them, and what can you offer them? Like, is there somewhere they can go, or what would you say?
Well, what I would say to that person, and typically folks, when they get to that point right there, there's no words anybody can say to them.
Because they get there.
Because they get there. They've thrown in the towel right then.
Yeah.
But what we're Virginia Care are fighting, and that's what I like about us, because we're a legislative group. I'll send you a list of folks that are out there. It's like close to 1,000 that help people in different arenas. What needs to happen is this: before a person gets to the point where I've got nowhere else to go, I'm throwing in the towel, I give up. We are fighting the Department DOC, Department of Corrections, to actually, even in the jails, we want folks to be learned on all the organizations out there that are getting federal funding in most cases, that can aid them in some way, shape, or fashion. So before you get to your wit's end, if you can actually get the knowledge of what's out there to help you, it'll put you in a position of places you can go. Now, one of the things I did with Virginia Care, even though I liked that we're a legislative group, I felt like we needed to do something, Trevor, to like really impact folks' lives. So, as you know, I think you're aware that I created, a couple years ago, before we officially got the okay from the governor to refer to folks as returning citizens, I created the ex-felon job fair. Which is now, of course, morphed into the returning citizen.
That's what drew me to you, because that's awesome. I mean, the biggest problem with the whole situation is employment. Because, if I don't have money, I can't eat, I don't have a roof over my head and things like that. So if they cutting off the money, then of course you're going to get people going back to jail because they got to eat. So you are providing a way for people to come and find a job and be able to fend for themselves. A message from one of our proud sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trevor Lucas with TheVAdio Show, of course, and we are here at the Kelly's Choice Caregivers Appreciation Award Ceremony. Now, if you ask yourself what that is, we've got plenty of people in this area who take good care of the disabled, the elderly, and anyone in need of someone to look over them. And they go through a lot. They take a lot of their time and they give themselves to the community to be able to do this service. And they deserve awards. They deserve to be noticed for that. So that's what this is all about. So we're going to take y'all in so you can see the people that take the time out of their day to take care of our community. This is TheVadio Show. We've got some more footage for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trevor Lucas of TheVadio Show, of course, and I'm here with the woman of the hour, Miss Edwina. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Now, I got a question for you. I know why we're here, but I want you to let the people know what's going on today and why we're here.
Wow. Well, today is Kelly's Choice second annual Caregivers Appreciation Award Ceremony, where we are honoring selfless caregivers for the love and support that they give their loved ones, whether age, elderly, sick, but those that can't take care of themselves or no longer can take care of themselves. And it's family caregivers. And you know what's more important than that? It's Family Caregiver Month. Awesome. So it's absolutely, it's fabulous right now. And we just want everybody to just have a good time, enjoy good music, entertainment, speakers, and here we go.
You know what? I can get with that. We're going to go in here and enjoy ourselves, celebrate, and actually uplift the people that uplift our community that can't do it for themselves, all right? Now, we're going to show y'all some things in here. Stay close. Some good things to see. This is TheVadio Show. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is Trevor Lucas of TheVadio Show, and I'm here with a good friend of mine. Let him know your name.
My name is Charmaine Hicks.
All right, Charmaine. Now, I'm going to make it quick for you.
All right.
You're here. You walked through the door. I didn't know you was going to be here. Why are you here today?
Well, I'm here because Kelly's Choice, I know Winnie, and she's doing such a wonderful thing, giving back to the caregivers. And so it's a pleasure and an honor. Plus, my sister Charlene Purdy is here to sing, so I'm here to help her out, one, and for my sister as well.
Awesome. And your sister is an awesome vocalist.
Yes, sir.
Awesome vocalist.
Yes, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for watching. This is something great going on. Take care of your caregivers and take care of yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
We are here at the Kelly's Choice Awards, an awesome cause supporting those that are sometimes less fortunate and sometimes have physical and or mental challenges. This is one of the best causes that I have ever supported in my life. That's why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a blessing to be a part of this and to have met the CEO of Kelly's Choice, Miss Edwina Wilson herself. She's a phenomenal lady. We continue to do some work together on various projects for film and TV. Thanks for being here, folks, and joining us, and have some smiles on us.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did and show some appreciation for someone who gives care as a caregiver. This is the VAdio Show, and look out for each other.
That's why.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the People's Show, the VAdio Show. And I'm still here with my man, Derrick Beamon, talking about felonies and forgiveness. Now, I need you to let the people know, we're kind of at the end of the story with you being locked up. Let us know how the end of it happened and, on to the issues after you got out, but also the things that you did while you were in there to prepare yourself for reentry into society.
Being inside is mostly psychological, because you have a lot of people in there that's locked up for doing wrong, and some people let everybody know. It's a good thing to let everybody know how thuggish or how gangster you are.
Yeah.
So I had to find out how to be an individual, and sometimes people, the rest of the group's gonna look at you a certain type of way when you're trying to change.
Yeah.
So I started drawing closer to getting into programs. In the prison, talking to counselors and trying to change my outlook.
So there are programs that you can get into, because a lot of people I know that just do their time and come home.
Yes, programs. I had actually got my level down from Sussex 2 to Greensville, and I actually started, getting my level down, went to St. Bride's, and then they asked me, where you want to go. You're doing good time. I had changed my life and everything, and I said Indian Creek. They were like, Indian Creek? Who want to go there?
What's Indian Creek?
It's a therapeutic program where another inmate can write you up.
Oh, okay.
And, you get in Boston, you got to sit in chairs all day. You go through all types of things. You got to talk about the wrong that you did.
Gotcha.
If you get a write-up by another inmate.
It's almost like inmate AA meetings type of deal.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So and I looked at it was closer to home and everything. The one time you could have never get me inside no Indian Creek.
Gotcha.
In my state of mind, but I had to change.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to change before I got home.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this again. I don't care what nobody said. So it was a psychological thing where guys are looking at you like you're weakening up. So anyway, I just stayed to my workout, stayed into my spirituality. I read my Quran, fast and everything. And next thing you know, I tried to go to programs, and I started challenging myself in writing plays. It's always something I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
So I challenged myself in writing plays, and I seen how many young people was coming into the system with guys influencing them, with gangs and all that type of bullshit. So I wanted to find a way that I could reach them.
Right.
So I started writing plays and stuff, and I tried to do the plays, and the warden actually gave me permission.
Nice.
To do it in Indian Creek, and when I did the play, it was terrible.
Okay. Your first one didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, it was terrible. Everybody booed me and things like that, and I didn't give up. But I felt like, I don't care how you look at me, you ain't here like me.
We both in here together.
And I was thinking about my release. So I kept writing, and kept doing it. Then I got transferred to an even lower facility. They let me go to a work program.
Nice.
And everybody has spoke about me before I got there. The counselor got in contact with me, and she wanted me to do a play for Black History Month.
Nice.
And I named it We All Have a Dream.
Awesome.
But it was nothing like your Martin Luther King.
Gotcha.
It was about the real life that I went through in Jeffrey Wilson and all the struggles I went through the projects. And when they seen the play, they went crazy.
Great.
Yeah, and the warden, actually welcomed citizens from out there in that community
to watch the
come
play.
and watch it, for us to do it again.
That's awesome.
So they telling me to do it when I got home, and I thought I'd follow up on it. When I got out April the 5th, 2013. Oh my gracious. You have to have a plan when you get in there.
Yeah.
You have to be building some type of plan. I got out, and I was scared to even come outside.
What is it, just from being in the system and the lifestyle is a different psychologically?
Right, because when I came out, if I'm away them 11 years or 6.5 years plus the 4, as I'm away, things are changing.
Yeah.
Things are changing in time, but and I didn't know how to do simple things like use a telephone.
Yeah.
When I came out and the cell phones had no buttons on them.
Yeah, got you.
I didn't know what I was
We take a
looking
lot of that for granted, man.
Yeah.
We take a lot of that for
I
granted.
didn't know what to do. People had to show me how to cut on my phone.
Right.
How to find and search for numbers.
Right.
How to do email. What was an email? Because I didn't do these things while I was in
Got
there.
you.
So I had to learn everything over, and I had to find a job. I had said I'm gonna wash cars and cut grass. That really wasn't working out for me. So I used to get on the bus, go to City Hall, and try to get a job. Man, I remember coming out crying, and it was because I couldn't get food stamps because I sold drugs.
Wow.
I couldn't get into jobs because I was a convicted felon.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of challenges. So what I had to learn how to do was, if I'm staying with somebody, I had to help them around the house.
Gotcha.
Clean up.
You had to kind of humble yourself.
Yeah, and I wash the car or clean up or cut the grass, and this way I'm paying my way, even though it was my mother's house.
Gotcha.
Because I want to be, some type of way.
I get a lot from people that I know that's been locked up and are out. Some are lazy. I can't lie to you, but I get you kind of get that stigma as if that's because you can't get a job. He lazy. Why don't you just go get a job? They really feel like it's that easy. Would you please explain why it's not?
Well, first of all, the challenges were I couldn't get any assistance with food stamps. I don't have any income. I'm a grown man staying in my mother's house. Some people may be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Or a grown man staying with their girl with no assistance. Some people may be comfortable with it, but I look at it as like that was the lifestyle before I got locked up. Yeah. Person now. So I want to be a man who's a provider of his family. You know what I mean? Protect the other family and the child.
Right.
So I had to go out there and find some income. It was very tough because as a drug dealer, they didn't allow me to have my license.
Yeah.
It cost me $20,000 to get my license.
$20,000.
$20,000.
How did they get to that price tag?
Me never paying my fine and been doing crime ever since I was 18.
I got you.
And I never paid a fine.
So it's a hole a deep hole to dig out of.
It draws interest on you, and it's a lot of things that they say they're set up for failure for me to come back. But I refuse.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, let's not let money be everything. And that you have to, put your mind in that type of set that you can't let money be, even though we need it, you can't let money mean everything to you.
It's a tool, not a treasure.
Right. So I was walking around, catching the buses, man. Like I said, I left City Hall crying because I couldn't find a job. And man, it really got to me. So the next thing you know, man, I remember fasting one Ramadan, and the day I finished the Ramadan, I remember I got a call from the place called the Up Center, right over Norfolk, man. And they give people that just came out a chance to work, and they teach you how to do computers.
Awesome.
Blessing.
The Up Center.
Yeah, it's only a 16-week program, and it's not when you get the money, it's what you do with it.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
I don't get food stamps. I had to find a way, so I couldn't drive, so I bought me a scooter. I saved my money, I bought me a scooter. I'm riding around with suits with a scooter. And
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, the suits came from them. They donated me these suits.
Awesome.
Right. So, I wanted a new look, and they helped me with the computer. So now I learned how to type and email and all these type things.
That is great.
Yeah, and I just always had a vision to.
Shout out to the Up Center. Y'all check that out if y'all need it. If you're an ex-felon, please get over there to the Up Center. It sounds like an awesome place, man.
Yeah, and the whole thing is still, once you're out, it's psychologically. You run into people and you're doing good and you're thinking nobody noticed. Your family know you don't have money.
Yeah.
Catching the bus, still riding. I'm on my scooter now, and some people that's a downfall. But to me, my scooter was a blessing.
It's getting you where you got to go.
It was my independence.
Yeah.
And I ride that thing in the snow and rain.
We so full of ourselves these days, man.
Yeah, man.
The level of cool the bar's been raised too high.
Well, man.
It's a blessing to be able to move. It's a blessing to have a roof over your head. And the thing about being locked up is you understand those things that many take for granted. You know what I mean? Once your freedom is taken, it gives you a whole new perspective on life and what's important.
Right. And I didn't expect anybody to give me anything when I was out. And I never forgot in the back of my mind that I wanted to do plays. So I ended up getting another job at a restaurant. I'm not gonna shout them out. They got rid of me. But anyway, I got a job, man. I saved my money up. I was not trying to do what everybody else did. Same thing like in prison. I don't care what you're doing. I'm gonna do me. That's right. And I ended up saving my coins. I became the dollar store king, buying everything from the dollar store, feeding myself, sometimes even sacrificing my food, going around on my scooter, promoting that I want to do plays, and I was selling my oils. And I saved my money up, and I ended up, renting a building. Okay. And I went and got guys and girls from off the street and said, look, I'm trying to do this. And they got involved, man, and we did the play, and people loved it. I finally brought We All Have a Dream, a reality. A lot of people that I grew up with, they didn't show. But a lot of people did, and we did it good, and that's when I knew that I can do it. Because when you say a vision, or when you have a vision, it's best to try everything in it to carry it out.
Yes, sir.
Even if you fail, because in chess, it's the same thing with chess. You have to lose to learn.
Yeah. You
know not to put your queen right there no more. So that's what I did, and from there I kept doing it. And now I'm only doing plays for 1 year. I have my business license, and we did it at the Fort Monroe right now. But it's a huge hit, and I'm gonna try to do it again in the spring at Willett Hall in the city of Portsmouth and bring it to the people.
I applaud you, brother. I mean, everything that you've gone through and to make it where you are right now is a testament that you can do it if you put your mind to it and put work into it, and you keep away from all the distractions from outside. So, true testament, man. I really thank you, and great to have you on the show.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to be here, man. It's an honor to be here. I always wanted to be on the video show, man.
Stop, man. Really. Well, you here. I wanted you to be here, too. I'm glad you came, and I really hope that he was a help to someone out there. And don't touch that dial. Show's not over. We'll see y'all after the break, all right?
Live life well at the Myrtles at Old Town. Our spacious apartment homes offer luxury amenities with security access entry. Select homes offer washer and dryer, vaulted ceilings, private balcony or patio. And yes, we are pet friendly. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will gladly walk you step by step through the process of finding a home that fits you perfectly. No matter the size, 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms, we can accommodate your needs. And while you stroll the property, stop by the clubhouse, where you'll have full access to the movie room, the workout room, the computer room, and much, much more. So whether you like the towers or our garden style, when you see what we have to offer, you'll want to make the Myrtles at Old Town your new home. Transport for Kids offers parents a safe, community-trusted, and reliable children's transportation service. We Care transports kids to and from school and on to other after-school activities such as aftercare, tutoring lessons, sports, and other enrichment programs. We also have wheelchair vans for transporting children with special needs. So if you're in need of a reliable and affordable door-to-door service, give us a call. We Care is not just a name, it's what we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the People Show, TheVadio Show. And I want to speak to Mr. James Bailey about this that I'm hearing about, the Ban the Box initiative. Please tell me what that is, because I know what it is already, but I think it's awesome, and let the folks know.
Okay, well, that's the Ban the Box initiative is right in line with my drive to get folks job.
Okay.
What the Band of Ox does, it actually, or the way it's structured, is for advocates to go into cities and ask the cities to remove from their job application those boxes that ask criminal conviction questions.
Lord.
We know from historical conversations with human resource directors that no matter how qualified a person is, Trevor, I mean, he could be the most qualified person on the planet. He could be the guy who actually created this thing. If he comes to a human resource department and says, yes,
yes, sir,
it's circular file.
Yeah.
And they'll privately tell you this. They'll privately tell you they don't look at this anymore. So we thought that's the most unfair thing that you can do, not only to this person, but to yourself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want the most qualified? Because folks don't realize it, but when you get a returning citizen to come into the workplace, they come in with a degree of pride, of desire, of angst, of wanting to show that this community is worthy of getting an opportunity. So with the Band of Ox initiative, what happened is that advocates go to the cities and they ask them to move those from the job application. The governor of Virginia, who we've been lobbying for the past 4 years, this new governor just came in and he heard what we had to say, and he actually banned the box statewide. Now what that means is this, Trevor. On state applications, you no longer have to answer the question.
Wow.
Do you have criminal convictions?
Wow.
That's an awesome thing, because what it does for people like me is I've gone to the city of Norfolk and I've begged and pleaded with them to remove the box from their job application, and they agreed. I went to the city of Portsmouth and asked them to remove it, and they agreed. They removed it. And I went to Virginia Beach, and with some back and forth, they removed the box as well. I went out to Suffolk, and Suffolk, man, they made me feel bad. I mean,
what happened?
They pretty much told me to get the heck up out of there.
Wow.
They didn't see any reason or
having
logic. Yeah, they weren't having it. So now that the governor has done what he's done, is he's banned it on the state applications.
Gotcha.
It gives me a little more ammunition.
Right.
But also, Suffolk has gone through like pretty much reorganization, because the night I went to the city council, the entire council body that was up for election, I believe there was 4 of them, they got voted out of office.
Oh.
So I've got like new
people to talk
faces.
to. Yes, sir.
So that works out really, really good.
That is awesome, man.
So now with the Band of Ox, the ultimate goal is to get cities seasoned in dealing with returning citizens in the job market.
Right.
So that the city has the experience on how this can work, because with Band in the Box, there are state regulated jobs that have to be background checked. And when somebody asks for those, we simply ask that the city submit, when somebody asks for one of those positions, submit an additional document called an addendum that speaks to, you have to disclose.
I got you.
Now you got to talk criminal background stuff. So we think that's fair. So once the city has gotten seasoned enough on these Band of Ox initiatives, they can do what the city of Chicago did. The city of Chicago said, we have 19 vendors. That's 19 companies that do business with this city.
Okay.
And we've banned the box for 2 years, and we're demanding that you also ban the box from your job applications if you're going to do business in this city. That's a bold move, but that's where we want our cities to be. We're giving them the opportunity to get their systems in place. Virginia Beach, the human resource director who's there now, I don't know, I'll have that friend later down the road, but she's already asked the city attorney's office to look at the legality of having their vendors remove the box, or demanding that they remove the box from their job applications.
Man, that is great, man. I think that's very necessary, because basically as soon as they turn in that application, you already put an X on their head. And I know plenty of people who are having that problem. They hate to do interviews because they're qualified, but at the same time, you know, I know they're going to ask me this question.
Right.
And you know, you're worried about the backlash. Now, my next thing is the ex-felon job fairs, or the returning citizens job fairs. Please give people the information on that, and also give people the information on yourself if you have something to get in touch with you, because again, I want to be able to solve this problem, and you're a big part in doing so.
Okay. As far as information on me, you can actually contact me at missingvoterproject@gmail.com. That's missingvoterproject@gmail.com. That's the way to get in touch with me. But with this returning citizen job fair, I'm looking at doing this one in the second week of November.
Okay.
Location is my big thing. I've now gotten the city last month to agree to allow me to use their facility. It's formerly the Pines. It's a spot where they've dedicated over $1 million in resources to upgrade it. So they believe that it will be ready in time for my job fair, and they opened the door for me to utilize it there.
Awesome.
So now I'm just actually out there trying to get the employees, because when I do the returning citizen job fair, my objective, Trevor, is not to just get people to come out to look at,
right,
or have a resource fair is what a lot of people do. I'm not into that. Returning citizens don't want to learn how to do a resume or learn how to go wherever you might take them, or how to dress. Returning citizens need to be there already. Returning citizen needs employers to come to the place that they're going to be with the mindset, we understand that you have a conviction history, but we don't care about that. Today, for us, we want to know how you can help our company.
There you
go.
go.
If you have the skill sets to help us make money, because we're in this to make money, and we're not out here to shun any people.
Right.
So I'm looking at doing this year's event at formerly the Pines in Portsmouth. I think that's on Portsmouth Boulevard. I give you all the specific information to share on your
because I want to share it with our viewers. Yes.
And we're looking at the second week of November.
Well, brother, this is awesome, and this is a great thing that you're doing. I mean, they work the ex-felons to death while they locked up, but they don't want to give them none when they get out. That's a problem.
That's funny. That's funny you say that, because I'm always looking for statistical stuff to talk to legislators about when I go in and make my arguments. And one of the arguments I made with Portsmouth was the fact that they touted the fact that they saved the city over $2 million and resources by using inmates to do stuff around the city. Now, the same stuffs that they're doing around the city, once they get out, they can't go back to the city prior to this initiative. They can't go back to the city and ask for a job, because you check that box and it's a wrap.
Right, exactly.
So
you wanted me then, now you don't want me?
That's,
come on, man.
So I think that was a deal killer for the mayor when I talked to him.
No, that's good. That's good. Well, I got to thank you for coming, Mr. Bailey. It's been awesome. And if there's any felons out there, ex-felons, or excuse me,
returning citizens.
Returning citizens. Will y'all make that? I need you to make that popular. It makes a difference. If there's any returning citizens out there, I need you to get in touch with this man. And I need you to spread the word and let everybody know it's not over for you, no matter how hard things are getting. We're making things happen around here, Mr. James Bailey. So, The VAdio Show, The People's Show, and we'll see y'all next time around.
My name is James Poole, and I'm the pastor of the Center of Hope in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I have a real passion for working with men. I've been working with men now for approximately 15 years. It's a real wonderful opportunity because it's a ministry. And so I get the opportunity of working with a lot of men that are coming out of incarceration. And I've been able to see firsthand the pain that they're experiencing and how tough it is for them coming home. Let me give you one big challenge that men are faced with when they first come out of prison. That is, if they have any children at all, the first thing that they're faced with when they come out of prison is they get something from child support, which says you have to appear in court and a show cause as to why you have not paid child support. Well, they've been incarcerated, they've been locked up. They haven't been able to do that. And rather than turning my back on these men when they come to me, I serve as an advocate for them, because these guys, they really need someone that cares about them as a human being. So I'm able to be an advocate for these men and fathers that come out, and we go to child support, and we actually talk with whoever their caseworker is, and we try to come up with a plan. And that is, we want those individuals to become employed. So therefore, I become like a job specialist, if you will, where we go out to try to see what's out there, what skills the men have, and if there's skills that they have that they can do certain jobs, we have another challenge, because a lot of times people have issues when it comes to hiring felons. There's another powerful tool out there now, and that is there is what you call the federal bonding program. So we have formed a bond or alliance with the agency that is responsible for bonding individuals. And so the bond can go up to $5,000, and they will get a letter from the state stating that they are insured for that amount. Also, then if someone is willing to hire them, they have a powerful tool that they can show, I'm bonded, I have $5,000 bond, and between the state agency and the individual, the company that's going to hire them, there's an alliance there. So the bonding program is really good, because people now are willing to take a risk, because if I hire Johnny and he does well, then that's a plus for the company. If he does not, then we're able to collect the $5,000 or whatever the amount may be. But this is a powerful tool, and it also helps the individual that's coming out of incarceration as far as their self-esteem is concerned. We also, once the men get the letter for bonding, we aggressively try to find employment for them. Also, there are times that they don't have anything. They don't have clothes, they don't have shoes, they need everything. We also assist them in trying to get their birth certificate, because in order to get certain things, you have to have a birth certificate. You can't get a driver's license without a birth certificate. You can't get ID without a birth certificate, so we assist them in trying to get the birth certificates. It's gotten a lot easier now, because they can actually go to DMV and get the birth certificate, providing they have the proper credentials to get that. So we help assist them with a birth certificate, any other identification that they may need. Also, we help them as far as resumes are concerned, and many times they don't have the proper clothing. So then we try to seek monies out, or a place that may be a clothing closet where they can get clothes for interviews. We assist them also in how to present yourself in interview. And at that point, when they're charged up and ready, we go out, we take them. We'll actually take them. There are times that they will, they can go on their own, catch the bus or whatever, but we'll assist in taking them. And many times they've gotten jobs. Let me just tell you about, let's say, for instance, John. John came out of being incarcerated for drugs. Came out, we worked with him, we encouraged him. He became aggressive in seeking employment. Eventually, John was hired as an electrician's helper. But he was a go-getter, and we continue to encourage him. We do the group sessions on Thursday nights, once a week. And so what we do there is trying to encourage the guys. We facilitate the group, but we allow them to give input. And they come away charged up and ready to go. John went from an electrician's helper to becoming an electrician, an apprentice. And just last year, John graduated as an apprentice. He finished the college courses and now is a certified licensed electrician. Powerful. In the midst of a society and a system whereby many people don't want felons. And I will say this, I must give him kudos again, because while he was incarcerated, he took the necessary steps that he would be, people want to hire him or take a risk, because he began to take every course that he could possibly take that was offered in prison. And when the electrician position came open, he took it. So what was he doing? He was preparing the way even while he was incarcerated. Once he came out, he did it. And he's doing a phenomenal job. After getting the, finishing the apprenticeship and continuing on and getting licensed, he's now married. He married his baby's mom. Powerful, powerful too.